Hey, good morning, everybody. So I have finished up The Witch Roads by Kate Elliott. This book is coming out June 10th, and if you want to skip to the chase, it's 5 stars. Go pick it up. If you want to know why, this book is a weird combination. It is part fantasy, part romance, without being a romantasy, mind you. It's part chase, it's part mystery. It's a little bit all over the place, but it pulls them off. It doesn't try to do too much. It's like the perfect amount of each of them. Gist of this is Ellen is a deputy courier. That job is kind of part official, part postal worker, and part, I want to call it a warden for lack of a better word. There is an actual warden job in this, but I'm trying to explain what this job is. To understand what's going on in this world, there's two things. One's called the Pall. It's kind of like a mist type, almost like a river, but it's above ground. So it's a mist, it's a fog, but it flows like a river. And, sometimes it departs and, it goes its own way. And basically, anybody who touches this is infected. And it is a rapid infection, mutating the person, extra arms, extra eyeballs, extra whatever. And basically, that allows them to infect other people, although a lot of times they're not going to live long enough to do it, but it does give it that reach. There's also what's called, I believe it was called the spore. That is an infection that isn't limited to where the Pall is. That can pop up anywhere. They don't really understand why it can pop up in other places, like if it's underground or what. They just know that it happens. And so one of her jobs is to root out that if she sees it while she's on her rounds. Remember, this is a fantasy. There's no cars. There's no flying ships in this one. She's walking. She's walking everywhere. But as she goes about, if she notices an infection, and she's one of the few people that can actually sense it, doesn't necessarily say 100% that nobody else can sense it, but she seems to be the only one that dimensions the things that tell her that it's close. Then if she can, she tries to kill it and then makes a report because obviously just because she saw something doesn't mean there's not more. Or if she can't kill it, she definitely has to let somebody know so that they can send out the whole task force to kill this thing. But that's really what her job is. The thing, though, Ellen's got going on is that she's got secrets. She's got secrets that are worth being killed over. Some of them are about her. Some of them are about her late sister. Some of them are about her nephew that he doesn't even know. So she's got these secrets. And of course, as happens in these books, the past catches up with her. And she's probably going to be executed. But that would make for a very short book. So, without going into details, because that takes all the fun away, she manages to get the protection of the handsome prince. Now, this book isn't going where you think it is. Just chill for a second. He's not a nice guy. And he's not one of those, he's not a nice guy as in he meets the girl and he changes and happily ever after. He's just not a nice guy. He is a prince of the third estate. And basically, he wants to become prince of the second estate. And then possibly even, the crown prince that would take over when the emperor dies. So there's a lot of jockeying for position, and he is being sent off to take care of an issue that we don't know what is yet, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. And he's basically being set up to fail. First and foremost, nobody told him that the road is out. And the special thing about the imperial roads, or the witch roads, as they're called, is that the Pall can't cross it. And no eruption happens on the road itself. They are protected. And I will let you read why. Again, no spoilers. But that road is blocked. There was a collapse, an avalanche, a city was taken out, road is covered, and there's no way to get around it without going off into the dangerous parts. It's right next to the Pall. I think it's Pall on one side and cliffs on the other. there's not a way around it right now, especially not in your horse or panther or whatever you've got drawn chariots or carriages, whatever they were called. I think they were carriages, not chariots, but you know what I mean. However, she's a deputy courier. She's been walking around the lands for like 10, 15 years now. She knows the lay of the land. And so she knows a way to get him across. So by becoming his guide, she has protected herself from the other big bad by now following, or leading, I should say, the bigger big bad. That the littler big bad doesn't want to get in trouble with. So anyhow, not only is she leading this prince who obviously knows everything and can't believe that he was set up for like this, but she's also leading his group of wardens and I'm not even going to say this right. I think it's interloculator. Basically, there's a thurgist. The common folk are not allowed to talk to the prince. They talk to the interloculator in front of the prince, who can hear them, who then explains it to the prince and then speaks on behalf of the prince, as if the petty humans can't hear him either. So go figure. Yes, it's one of those type of stories. And they are not used to even noticing someone of her station, much less following them. So she's got to lead this party across, and we'll just say that something happens to the prince along the way. And so the new prince is much nicer than the old prince. Yes, it's still the same prince. Read the story, you'll figure it out. But he's also doesn't remember what the mission is, why they're going, who these people are, why he's following them. He's really got no access to any of these memories. He just knows that he has a job to do. So, now, because this is the type of fantasy realm where if you act a little weird or people think something that's happened to you, even as a prince of the third estate, they might just kill you, just to be on the safe side. So he can't let it be known that he has no clue what the heck's going on. Anyhow, so he's got to figure out how to find out what he's supposed to be doing, and the only person he's confiding in is Ellen, and Ellen's the person who knows the least about what they were doing, and they're certainly not going to tell her. And why would they tell the prince when he's already supposed to know? So that's how the story goes as they're, cutting across the country. It's a little, like I said, it's a little bit of a chase. They're chasing something. Other people are chasing them to either, make sure that he fails or dies. Either one will work. And I can't get into too much more without spoiling anything. I will let you know that basically Ellen's got to get them all the way across the country. One, without them figuring out that the prince has no clue what's going on, because if they kill him, nobody's protecting her. Two, she's got to worry about what happens when the prince does remember. If whatever happened to him wears off, especially if he remembers everything that happened during that, because then of course he's going to know that she knows the secret. Or if he doesn't remember anything, he's going to be like, "Where are we? How did we get here?" Yeah, and again, old prince wasn't a nice prince. There may be off with your heads and things like that going on. So it's a bit of a stressful journey. That's all I'm trying to say. It is one of those books that, like I said, I absolutely positively gave this 5 stars. It's Kate Elliott, for crying out loud. You're going to give her a chance anyhow. But yeah, this book is the perfect mix of all those different genres and subgenres. Never feels like she's trying to do one or the other too much. It's just a perfect blend. The characters are interesting. The world is interesting. The story is interesting. I can't remember how many pages it was. I think it was a chonker. Hang on. No, not 448. I consider 300 short. I consider 600 to be, starting getting into that chonker territory. So 448, nice, solid in the middle. It's not going to be your super fast read, but it's also not going to be like, oh my goodness, it's still going on. So I think you guys will appreciate it. Like I said, I absolutely loved it. Book doesn't even come out till June, and I'm already eagerly awaiting book 2. So yes, there will be a book 2. And yeah, Kate has done it again. That's all I'm going to say. Absolutely pick this one up. I think you're going to love it. Have a good one.